Hold on, time out.
Yeah.
Time out. So your little brother's talking crazy to you.
To me, I'm like, hold on now.
Yeah.
Like, wait till
So
Thanksgiving.
how do you check him? You check him right there on the spot?
I made him mad. He left the party. He doing bad. He called my mom. My mom called me like, why you
Why you been beating your little brother?
on the game?
Respect your elders, man.
Welcome to Coach 'em Up. I'm joined, as always, with Zach Zillner, and today we've got a special guest. We got CJ Baxter.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.
CJ! It's a fun name to yell.
It is, yeah. CJ, I know who you are. Zach knows who you are.
Yeah.
But maybe not everyone knows who you are yet.
Right.
So for the people who don't already know, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and where you're at?
So I'm CJ Baxter. I mean, we've been over that already. Everyone calls me C4. It comes from the letter of my first name and then the number 4, which is a big number. The reason why I wear it. I'm originally from Florida, Boynton Beach, Florida to be exact. I like to say I split time between Boynton Beach and Orlando because I get ripped all the time about where I'm really from.
Florida people, I feel like, are very territorial.
Yeah, so
It matters,
Like
bro.
I really-
Like the difference between Boynton and being from
Yeah,
Deerfield.
like, no, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's big. But I split time between Boynton Beach and Orlando. I like to say Orlando is where I really grew the most.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 siblings. I have an older sister and 2 younger brothers. I love them to death. My parents, I mean, I'm a real family-oriented person. So, I mean, I'm boring. I don't really do much, but I'm here.
You're a gamer.
Yeah. Oh, I love the game Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
When they edit the podcast, we'll drop your gamer tag right here. Yeah.
So in high school, were you just a football guy? Or like growing up, were you played pretty much everything, gravitated towards football? Or like I know a lot of football players, pride that they can hoop or anything. What about you?
So I started football. I mean, I've been playing football since I was 4 years old. I started tackle at 6. Played football, ran track actually. When I was 9 years old, I was second in the country in 100.
Yeah,
Whoa!
I've seen your film. You're pretty fast.
Yeah, so I was second in the country in 100, and I stopped running track I don't know. I really stopped and then started. But I officially stopped my freshman year of high school. I played basketball throughout middle school, but it's always been football.
Yeah.
Once I got to high school, and I was thinking about playing basketball, but my freshman year the freshman football season is before basketball season, and I was playing varsity as a freshman. I got offers, and I'm like, okay, I'm only playing football.
Yeah, quit playing around.
Yeah,
And here's where
Yeah.
Court.
You quit working on that jump shot.
What was that like? Freshman in high school is 14, playing against you're almost a grown man at 18. How was that experience? Coming into high school, just got out of middle school, and you're starting varsity football.
So at the high school I went to, before I got there, it was only one freshman that ever played varsity, and I was the second to ever play varsity. So because the school I went to was a really good football school, so not many freshmen got the opportunity to play on varsity, but I was blessed to be one of them. But transitioning, it was very smooth. I mean, my freshman year, just like here in my freshman year at Texas, I learned that I was behind somebody. I got to learn from them. When I got my opportunities, I made the most of them. And then as my high school career went on, I just kept getting better and better and better. By my junior year,
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
It was OB.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that I don't think a lot of people know that I find just fascinating is, bro, you didn't lift weights in high school. You didn't lift any weights.
So, I mean, me and you work out every day.
Yeah.
I like to say I lived, but it wasn't
structured or anything like that.
Nah, it was more you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We lived in high school, but it wasn't I wasn't a weight room maniac.
Yeah.
Now I have to live every day, or I have to work out every day. In high school, I wasn't.
You
I would
more
work out
check the box.
field work and stuff. I would do that all the time. But
Right.
in the weight room, no.
But weight room is optional.
Nah, weight room was just, I did push-ups every night, but weight room stuff, no.
Dude, that's just so crazy to me. That's you got some Herschel Walker vibes with that stuff, man. That's nuts.
Well, that kind of shows when you're younger, you probably should put all your time into skill acquisition. It's it doesn't matter if you're the strongest guy if you don't have the X's and O's down, or the technique and running routes and all the little stuff. You're not gonna make it.
Yeah, and I like to tell people all the time with the weight room, it's kind of hard to figure out when you should start lifting.
Yeah.
Because if you get so big to the point when it's time to go to college, you may be maxed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have
college
nothing to
would
work
make
on,
it bigger,
basically. Yeah.
My thing is like the beauty about waiting to start strength training is you have to learn how to be good without having that skill set. You know what I mean? Like you have to be elusive. You have to be able to put your foot in the ground. You know, you have to know how to read the play, because you don't get to just rely on being strong as hell. You know what I mean? Because that's an awesome thing to have, but if that's like your main thing, like why would you learn those other skills if you can just run people over?
Yeah.
You know, and as you know, I mean, shit, you're still running people over. I saw that spring game. That was crazy. You told me, I went and watched the highlights. That was nuts. Shout out Taff. Listen, bro, you're a real one for coming up for that tackle.
High school career, took off. You're the number one running back in your class. When did letters first start coming in? Was it freshman year? Was it more that you towards your junior year? And then how'd you kind of decide?
So freshman year, I really started getting offers. The game we played to get to the state championship. So it was in December, late in my freshman year. That's when I really started getting offers. And then going into the spring, my sophomore year, I committed to Florida State. That was my dream school. Growing up. So I committed to Florida State. I was committed to Florida State throughout my whole sophomore year, and then the spring going into my junior year, I decommitted and I really weighed out all my options. So my recruitment was like, I was getting offers my freshman year. I committed to Florida State as my sophomore year, so offers kind of slowed down, but they were still coming in. And when I decommitted and I had the spring that I had my junior year, that's when everything really skyrocketed.
So with that recruiting process, I'm sure it's fun in the beginning, and then it probably becomes a full-time job.
Yeah.
So how did you like the recruiting experience? Was it kind of annoying? This is a guy who got half of an offer from a couple schools. So I was putting those letters on my fridge so my dad would know what was up. But what was it like getting, flooded every week with letters and different coaches hitting you up all the time?
So like I said, by my junior year, that's when they really started coming in a lot. I was getting my freshman, sophomore year, but my junior, that's when they really were coming in. The first half of it was okay, I get to go on all these visits, I get to travel. Sometimes I would use it as a vacation.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, by the back end of it, I was all right, I'm done playing. I'm done. It was to the point where you couldn't entertain 10 schools, 15 schools. I couldn't do that anymore. I had to narrow it down to 5 to 7.
Yeah.
Because once I got to that point, and then when I was in school, actually school, I would get pulled out of class
Coach so-and-so's here.
30 times a day, no lie. So I had to tell my head coach, shout out Coach Cam Duke, I had to tell him, all right, if it's not this school, just don't pull me out. Just tell him I'm not interested. And I'm a nice person. I don't like to tell people no.
Totally, it's tough.
So sometimes I would have him be the bad guy, which I love him to death for. I'll have my dad do it. I would let everyone else be the bad guy and tell these people no, because I just don't like to tell people no.
That brings up an interesting thought for me. The landscape has changed entirely, obviously, in the past 4 years. I'm sure, if I had to guess, you probably have offers to do all kind of things all the time. People want to get involved with you. How have you developed the ability to say no? And what does that look like?
So I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm still working on it. Certain things is easy to say no to, you know what I mean? Because, it may not be the best for me.
Yes.
But then, if it's something like you said, with the landscape of college football changing, we have agents now. If we don't want, most of the things we want to do, we have to go through them anyways. So
right.
They could say yes or no, or we could talk about it, and then he will give the final answer.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yes. So it's nice having that support there and being able to it kind of takes the power out of your hands too.
Yeah.
In the sense where you have someone advising you.
Right. Yeah. Like a mentor, and then he's your agent, and then he has a team of people, and then my mom and dad, they hard nosed, so
that helps.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
So with navigating, saying no to NIL and everything, you obviously had to say no to pretty much every school out there.
Yeah.
What are the things that you looked for in a school, in the beginning, and then towards when you got, I guess, smarter in your junior year of what are the things that actually mattered?
So my number one thing was relationships. I mean, relationships don't really ever go away. Like like me and you, for example, I'm gonna train with you probably for the rest of my time playing football. You know what I mean? But relationships, so it was really about building that relationship with someone. And then relationships, the coaching staff, how were they as people, not just coaches, as like people outside of football. The system of the school, my position coach was like a big part because he was going to be the one to develop me every day. So it's really those 4 main things. And then by the time my senior year came in, everybody thought like, oh, I went to Texas because of NIL. But in all honesty, I swear I did not pick Texas because of NIL. I picked Texas because this is like genuinely where I wanted to play at. Like, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to stay. Like, if it came up to NIL, I wouldn't have been at Texas, if that makes sense. Like, I wouldn't have picked Texas. I would have picked somewhere else. I'm not gonna say where, but
I can read between the lines on that. You know, you talked about the relationships. Like, was there a coach or a couple coaches or a couple people when you're going through that process with Texas where you're like, this dude or this woman, these two or this person is the reason why? Yeah.
So I tell this story all the time, literally all the time. They ask me why I came to Texas. Coach Rashard Torres, which is my running back coach. So the way it worked was my freshman year, he was at Georgia Tech. And I had built a relationship with him. He offered me when he was at Georgia Tech. By my junior year, he came here to Texas. That summer of my junior year, he was here at Texas. So I'm like, okay, let me take a visit to Texas. My senior year, I'm going through recruitment, and I had already built a relationship with him starting my freshman year. So once he got to Texas, I'm like, okay, Coach, I had already met Coach Sark that same summer of my junior year, of my sophomore year. And Coach Sark offered me before Coach Choice even got to Texas.
Dang, the stars aligned.
I started building a relationship with both of them, even though they were at 2 different schools. And it just so happened that Coach Choice joined Coach Sark at Texas. And I know Coach Sark offense, the amount of backs he produced, the way he produces them, the way he uses them. And then Coach Choice, just the type of dude he was. It wasn't even football-wise. Like, it had nothing to do with football. Just the way he was as a person. I like to tell people all the time, when I go to the league and I'm playing and I have a coach there, I'm going to still think of the stuff that Coach Choice teaches me. Like, I know if I'm not playing up to standard, he gonna be in the back of my head. Like, that's the type of coach I like. He hard nosed. So
you know what else? So because we were talking about Coach Choice the other day, and obviously I trained Bijan and Roshan, and they love that man. Love him. And the other day we were talking about Coach Choice and how wonderful he's been for you. And something I noticed is that guys that aren't running backs, that are on the other side of the ball, are like, I love Coach Choice. What about him is so infectious and so impactful outside of the X's and O's that makes him?
Yeah, so I think with college football and the professionalism of it, a lot of the times the coaches in it, they get caught up with just being a coach. Because, I mean, it's their life. I mean, that's how they take care of their family. That's how they get paid. That's just what they do. They've been doing their whole life. With Coach Choice, he said something that I'll keep with me for the rest of my life. If I'm blessed to be a coach one day, I'll deliver that to my players. But he says, the way I'm coaching number 4 and the way I'm coaching, he called me Said, and the way I'm talking to Said, they're not the same people at all.
Right.
Meaning, like, he go give it to me when I got my jersey on, which that's the way I like to be coached. But outside of football, he go be a person to me. Like, he know I'm away from home, so he try to be as close to my dad as he can be, if that makes sense. Like, he don't want to be my dad, of course, but he try to step in, and if I need something, I can call him. He called me the other morning at like 8 o'clock just to check up on me.
Like,
that's good. That good coaches, I feel like, can separate that, where it's not they look at you as player number whatever on the roster all the time, and it's nice that they can like turn that off and be a normal person for at least a couple
that's
hours.
big. I mean, I think with not just college athletes, just athletes in general, people get caught up in them just being an athlete. They forget that they have a life. They still a human. Like I tell people all the time, like, I'm an athlete, but I still play the game. I still eat food. I still do the same things you do. I'm just an athlete. So,
you were Zach. I would love to hear a little bit more because, like, from the athlete side, how impactful it is to have a coach like that who can meet you where you're at and be more than just like, the guy that shows up and tells you how to block better or whatever. As a coach, because I know that you have those kind of relationships with your team. what is that like? Like, how do you meet people where they're at, and how did you develop that?
I think the first, I'm sure Coach Choice does this, is like, you got to talk to them as a person before they're even going to buy into what you're doing. Right. Like, I assume, like, you come to Texas, you assume everyone they hire there is the best in their field at what they do.
Right.
So it's like, I don't need to prove that to you over and over, but I might need to figure out, you know, how you operate, how you like to get talked to, you know, your family, what you like to do outside of this. Yeah.
Because he does preach that a lot. Like, he can't coach every single one of us.
Yeah.
Because we all haven't been through the same stuff. Mm-hmm. We don't react to totally. His words the same way. So
you can coach some kids hard. Yeah. And then other kids, I know if I tell you this in a certain tone, like, you're just going to lock up the whole day and not listen to me. So I think it's on, like, our job as the professional to figure out, like, where do we meet and get the most out of you guys. Because at the end of the day, like, if I talk to you a certain way and you're not receiving my message, like, we don't win games, I get fired, and you don't have a great career. So it's like, what's the point? But I think it starts with the, like, it's so common, but, like, the human piece. Like, if you don't know, I mean, it's easier for me with basketball, like, everybody's family situation, what the kids are majoring in, even, like, what kind of food, like, even these little things. Like, if you don't know that about every one of your athletes or the guys in your position group, like, what do you really, the relationship feels like transactional.
Totally.
You give me this, I'll give you that, instead of, like, what do you need? To me, that's the most fun part about coaching, is, like, connecting with, you know, athletes when they're done playing, they still hit you up and see what's going on, instead of, you graduated, next man up, have a good career later.
Right.
I think you just got to encompass that whole thing.
I think with football, it's tough too, because, like,
so many of us.
So many. How many guys are on your team?
I think 150.
That's nuts. I didn't know it was that many, bro.
And I think we travel with, like, I may be wrong, but I think it's 120 and 150, and we travel with like 70.
Yeah, wow. I got 15. Or men's 30.
Yeah.
It's like the culture with football too is, like, you know, it's team sport obviously, but it's also, like, the next man up mentality. You know.
Yeah.
So I think it's special that you have a coach that can, like, you know, be able to, like, have one foot in on that and then the other foot, like, be able to meet y'all where y'all are at. All right, I want to ask you, because we were talking about recruiting, and you were talking about getting pulled out of class 30 times and everything. What are some of your craziest recruiting experiences? Phone calls you've got, texts, campus experiences.
You can leave schools and names out of it.
You don't need a name drop.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I've actually never experienced anything, like, super, super crazy. Like, I mean, I've heard people's stories and mine don't compare at all.
I feel like now with the cell phone age where there's cameras on your phone,
you can't get
toned down a little bit. Yeah. But I'm sure there's still.
So, I mean, it wasn't really, like, crazy stuff, but I've done a lot, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And, like, one school I went to, and I went to someone's house, and their house was, like, talking, like, crazy, like 30 bedrooms, stuff like that. Had a yacht, full staff on the yacht, Rolls Royce and Lamborghinis and all that. And this is, like, real life. Like,
that's
I'm
their
like,
spot.
whoa.
What is happening?
Yeah.
And you're, like, 17 at the time.
I'm like, whoa. Another one, though, I was at a hotel and somebody knocked on my door.
Oh, God.
A girl.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't open it. I just looked at the people. Well, I opened it, but it was like, the thing at the top. And they were like, whoa, you so-and-so? I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. But I mean, I've actually never experienced, like, anything, like, super, super, super crazy. I mean, with the NIL, it was kind of crazy, but I personally didn't have the conversations with the schools. I let my parents and whoever else had the conversations, because I'm 18 years old.
You don't know.
I don't know.
You see flashy things, you're like, hell yeah, man.
Like, that's the way I was. Now, as I've been blessed to get money from NIL, now I know, like, okay, I can do this, I can't do this, or how to save money, how to invest money, stuff like that. Now I know, but at the time, no.
Yeah.
So did that, because you kind of grew up in an interesting age where there was no NIL during the beginning of your recruiting, and then NIL was the last year or two?
Yeah.
And, like, how did that change things for you? Obviously, it seems like talking to you, like, you pick schools because they're the best fit for you, not necessarily the money.
Outside of NIL, I was thinking to myself, okay, if this school is giving me $0, would I still want to go there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way I had to think about it. Then my dad told me something I always remember. He was like, not all money is good money.
Yeah, it's true.
So
that is so true.
I mean, like I said earlier, if it was up to NIL, I would not be at Texas. But it wasn't.
You need to say that for the younger kids again. Like,
Yeah.
If the money wasn't a factor.
So
we'd
my
still
big
go
thing
there.
is, I tell people all the time, I mean, yeah, I want to get paid while I'm in college.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Work
play hard,
hard.
we work
Yeah.
hard. I want to take care of my family. That's the biggest part of me wanting NIL, is
Right.
take care of my family. It's not even for me. But I want NFL money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking for the big.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the money I want. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm happy to have NIL right now, but I know that Texas is going to get me to the NFL money, the big money. I mean, I know you've seen all the guys that just got drafted. So
Yeah.
that's all.
Right.
So,
Well, that's my thing. Is like if you don't go to a good school where it's a good fit, you might get paid up front initially. But if you're not somewhere where you can succeed, to your point, like the NFL is the new like second contract. You know, like every NFL player, NBA, like they're trying to get the second contract. Like that's where it's at. So it's like college. If you don't put yourself in the driver's seat to showcase you and what you're good at, like you may be coaching with me sooner than you think, and we don't want that.
We'd bring you on, CJ, for sure.
So coaching wise, you talked about, you know, maybe one day being blessed enough to be a coach. As a freshman, you know, you came in early in January. Figuring that out, like how do you kind of insert yourself as like a younger guy, but you play? How do you insert yourself as like a leader on the team?
So I wouldn't necessarily say leader. I would say for me, I will hang with the older guys.
Yeah, smart.
Like Jordan Whittington, Jonathan Brooks, Tavondre Sweat, Jalen Ford, like those. Most of the guys you've seen drafted, put it like that. I will hang with them to try to like soak in things for them to see what they do, what they don't do, like stuff like that. Because I mean, they are where they are now. So obviously they did something right. So I would try to get around guys like that and then just soak in what they were telling me and stuff like that. And then once I was able to do that going into this year, that's my role. I want to be a leader. That's my role on the team. So that's just the way I took it. I wouldn't say my freshman year I was just this leader.
Yeah, I think
I was still learning.
And
I was still learning.
So what do you do? Like this year, you're going to be a sophomore. We talked about that huge roster. Like, how do you deal with? You know, I feel like with huge rosters like that, you got like a quarter of your team that's bought in 110%. You got some guys in the middle who are like could go either way, and then you got your losers that no one can help them. Like, what do you do in your position to kind of get that middle half up towards, you know, the guys you can count on day in?
So,
and day
like you
out?
said, I mean, with football, there's so many of us. I mean, 100% of your team is never going to be bought in. You're going to have at least like those 5 to 10 people who's not, that's just life. I mean, but with those other people, you got to do your best to try to get them to buy in. Whether it is like, for me, I feel like I did a good job. I'm doing a good job within like the running back room and stuff like that, with me being a leader in that room, me and Jaden Blue, with us being leaders in that room. But now I want to be able to spread it to other rooms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, whether if it's in workouts and because we all be tired together, whether it's like trying to pick somebody up. If I feel like if I can get one person a day or one person a week or one person whenever, as the season goes on and time goes on, then we'll all be on the same page.
You have a unique position where like you can tell you have big goals and big aspirations, but a lot of players have that, but they're not good enough on the field where like, you know, if you're not as good as some other guys, like people may listen to you, but like if you walk the walk and talk the talk, like you're in a unique position where
I think
you're
too,
actually playing.
With college football, a lot of the times too, I mean, yeah, that's a big thing, but with football, it's about respect.
Yeah.
Like you gotta, not only the coaches, but the people around you, they have to respect you if like you think they're gonna listen to you. Like if they don't respect you, then they're not gonna listen to you. I mean,
how do you go about earning respect being like a younger player and then coming into your sophomore year?
I mean, just trying to prove yourself, right? It's on the field, in the weight room, workouts. Just be like with those older guys. If they see me working out and they know like, okay, I'm getting through the workouts, I'm listening to everybody telling me I'm not getting in trouble. They go like, okay, he got respect. And then if I'm playing good on the field, then they'll be like, okay, he understanding it. So then that sort of respect aspects comes.
So would you say that's like a 24/7 job for you? Can't just turn it on in certain areas.
Yeah, I mean, I always want my teammates respect because I'm playing with them every snap. I'm literally seeing them every day. So you always want the respect. You want to have respect in the locker room.
Yeah.
You know, it's hearing you talk. I mean, I just think about where I was at 18. You know what I'm saying? And you've got just beyond your years, an understanding of like leadership and what it means. And where did that come from, man? Like, where did you learn those? Because it didn't just happen this past year at Texas. That stuff you've learned throughout the course of your life.
Yeah, so I mean, it really came into play in high school football. I mean, my freshman year, I had to learn.
Yeah.
My sophomore year, I was considered a leader by my head coach. But my junior and senior is when I really had to like step up about it. My head coach, we had a conversation one day. So my junior year was very rocky. I'm not gonna say why. I'll tell you why, but I'm not gonna say like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was very rocky. We had some guys who wasn't like on the same page. We were a really good team. My freshman and sophomore year, we went to 2 back-to-back state championships.
Damn.
My junior year,
Pretty good.
yeah. My junior year, that team was probably better than both of those teams that went to the state championship, but we weren't in.
They're kind of like this.
We weren't like connected as a team because we had those people that was staring off. Mm-hmm. And me, at first, I was more, I still am. I wasn't like very vocal. I was more of a leader, like do it by example.
Yeah.
Here's what you do. Here's what you don't do. And then at times I would speak up. By my senior year though, because I knew how my junior team was, and I knew I was like, it was to the point where I was just over it. Yeah. I was just ready for the season to be over. I mean, I had my season I wanted to have. It had got to that point. I'm like, all right, I don't know what more to do.
Can't help everybody. Yeah.
But my senior year, I had like my head coach. We had a meeting with all the seniors, and he was like, "What's something y'all want this year?" I said, I ain't care about no accolades, no wins. I just want my senior to be fun. That's all I wanted. And then I knew in order for it to be fun, it would come with then leadership. So I made myself a promise, like, all right, step up, whatever way you got to do for this team, to everybody to be on the same page. And my senior year, it didn't end the way I wanted it to, like winning wise and going to the state championship, winning that, but having fun and enjoying each other and playing at a high level and stuff like that. I couldn't ask for it back, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so.
You kind of got the best of both worlds, like I think it's valuable to see how a good team works, and then also to be on a team that is dysfunctional.
Totally.
And then you can kind of notice the things
we won.
Make a team
it's crazy because my junior year, we went undefeated. We lost in the playoffs, but it didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't feel like we were undefeated. It didn't feel like we was blowing these teams out. I just didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
So, your first year at Texas, what were the things that, like, when you got there, you knew you're like, oh man, these are the things that I need to improve.
Right.
And then what did it look like for you going about and taking action and improving those things?
Yeah, so, all right, well, my position playing running back, I feel like that's the toughest position in football. Not even being biased, I truly believe that. I mean, like, in order to be a running back, you got to be crazy.
Yeah.
In some way, you got to be crazy in some way. I mean, you got to have something different about you. But for running backs, transitioning from high school to college, pass protection is like the biggest thing. I mean, for me, and then most running backs in general in high school, you're not asked to pass protect as much. I mean, in high school, when you're a running back, you're either just running or catching the ball. You're not doing nothing else pretty much, unless you're on special teams. But that was the biggest part, pass protection, which I feel like I got very good at. And then I'm still working at it, of course. And then just practice habits, if that makes sense. The way Coach Choice, the way he emphasizes being detailed and just practicing super hard, then it made the game so easier. The harder you practice. I noticed every week I had a really, really, really good practice, and I had a really good game. I like to tell people all the time, I know for us at least, and if you ask majority of our players, our practices are harder than the game.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. I mean, that's the way you should want it to be. So in the spring, I tried to get it to where, because the back end of my freshman year, like those last couple games, I was practicing super hard, and I feel like I had some of my best games. Mm-hmm. The front end, I was practicing hard, but not like to the point where
different level.
It was like I want to practice now to where like I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
So like during the spring,
leave it all on the field.
Yeah. So during the spring, that's what I was trying to do, trying to practice to the point where I'm exhausted. Going into fall camp in the season, that's what I'm gonna try to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like I feel like I see this a lot. Like you're out of high school, you're the number one player in the nation, or for running back. Like. I'm best in Florida, best in the whole nation. So, like, would you kind of find, not dogging you or anything, but would you find sometimes during practice, like, you could go 70% and it was fine just because whatever? You know what I mean?
In high school?
Yeah, you're kind of used to that. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
Not because, like, you're trying to be lazy.
Yeah, but it's just like,
because,
if I don't have to.
You can get away with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If I don't have to exert so much energy into a play.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So,
Well, coach is worried about all the other guys that aren't the number one running back.
nah, I ain't gonna lie. So for my high school, my coaches weren't like that.
Always on you?
Nah, they would coach me. They would coach me like everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if I do something bad, they'll kick me out of practice.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? I didn't, but if I did, I know it would get to that point. I got yelled at just like everybody else did. I got yelled at one time in front of like 5 college coaches by my head coach.
He undressed you in front of him?
Yeah, like
Chill out, coach.
I mean, I respect that though.
Yeah.
I like to
Right.
coach hard. It makes me play better. So
When was your first, like you came in January, when was your first day or week when you were like, oh shit, like this is college football? Like we ain't in Orlando anymore. Like, what is this?
So I would like to say we can consider that like a welcome to college moment.
Yeah. What was the welcome to college?
So one time it was with Jalen Ford. It was a sprint rollout with Quinn sprint rolling, finna pass the ball, and I had to like roll with him and like lead block in a sense. And Jay Ford came down from like 10 yards, and I'm basically like a sitting duck, and he just ran me slap over.
You're not a small dude.
Yeah, he ran me slap over. And then I would say in game it was against Baylor. Got rocked.
Yeah.
But I tell people all the time, if you play football,
That's part of the deal.
something will happen.
Yeah.
The only way you're not getting rocked is if you're on the sideline waving a towel, and you still might get rocked.
Yes, you might. Yeah, you better be watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are like my 2 moments.
You talked, so to piggyback off that, like your physical development, because we talked about like the skill development and like understanding pass protections and stuff like that. But physically, like the weight room, you know what I mean? Putting on some weight, adding some muscle, getting stronger. How has that impacted your game, and what's left?
Yeah, so when I got here, I think I was like 205 maybe. I got to like 210, between like 212 and like 215 throughout the season. And then after the season, now I'm up to 220. So I've been adding weight. But I tell everybody asks me, do you feel good with it? Like, I'm like, I feel amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm faster. I feel like I'm stronger.
Yep.
I'm probably add on like 3 more pounds, 3-4 more pounds, and I think it's gonna just make me better and better. Like I genuinely feel like the more, cause I'm a taller running back, and my frame can carry more weight, so probably end up being like 225, and I feel like it'll be a great weight.
Ooh, all right. That's just I'm excited about this. Okay, so I know you're a student of the game. I know you love football. Talking about your size, the way you play.
What running backs?
Who do you want to emulate? Like, who are the people that you see yourself as, and then what are the comps other people have given you?
So, all right, I get asked this question a ton, literally. So I like to tell people all the time, I don't really like all the backs that I like watch every day. It's kind of hard for me to be like, oh, I want to be like him because they're small. I mean, that's our position. Most backs are shorter, taller. But nowadays, I mean, everybody watches Christian McCaffrey. Everybody want to watch him. He's just exciting to watch. He runs hard. He finishes. Christian McCaffrey, I love him. Dalvin Cook, I love him. It's so many backs now that's so good. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan, the 2 younger backs in the NFL, they go take over.
Yep.
It's so many guys, though, that's super good. But comps, for example, I've heard, my dad always told me Eric Dickerson. So I had no choice but to watch.
That's the second time I've heard that in 48 hours,
Good
bro.
compliment.
Someone talking about you. Yeah.
So I had to watch him growing up. Eric Dickerson. Coach Choice says Darren McFadden.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, he says
He said
we run just alike. So Darren, I actually met him when I visited Arkansas.
You do, because you both kind of have a taller run style, and he would punish people, bro. He would punish people. I remember him and Felix Jones in that Arkansas offense. Oh my God.
Me and Jaden Blue go do that this year. Just watch.
There we go.
Let's go.
We're gonna do that this year. But him and then Adrian James, I watched him a lot.
Man.
And then LT.
Mm-hmm. Who you're the first freshman running back to start since Ricky Williams. Mm-hmm. Who your favorite UT running backs?
Oh, dang.
See your history.
UT has a lot.
He's like Ricky Williams, Bijan.
So Bijan is the most exciting. Like,
yeah, I agree.
The most probably like gifted to come to UT, like by far. But like before Bijan, Jamal Charles.
Oh yeah.
So fast.
Cedric Benson, I watched him. And then Earl Campbell, I mean, you gotta watch him. Like,
Yeah.
you can't not watch Earl Campbell. And then Ricky Williams, I watch him the most because my dad is like a huge Ricky Williams fan.
Yeah.
He's a Dolphins fan,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
That Florida
okay.
connection.
that's why I want to get drafted to.
Yeah, go to the Dolphins.
There you
Hey,
go. There you go.
shout out Miami. Shout out the Dolphins. Man, that would be crazy. Can you imagine returning home to Florida like that?
That'd be great.
Legendary.
I can't wait till we play Florida just because of that.
What? Man, let's talk about that. Going to SEC.
Yeah.
How awesome is that?
It's amazing. I mean, it's the best conference in college football. It's where all the best competition is. I mean, college football, there's competition everywhere. Don't get
Right,
me wrong.
facts.
But I mean, SEC is like SEC. So playing against the best literally every single week. I tell people about the SEC, like people that don't really know football, the thing about the SEC is like you may be playing somebody, I'm not going to say a name, but you may be playing somebody, you may not think they're as good, but if you don't play up to standard,
You'll get
then
beat.
you'll
Yeah.
get beat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No doubt.
So speaking of like going into a game day, like what's your game day routine like from waking up till
Yeah. So it depends on what time kickoff is. If we have a night game, I feel like we're in a hotel all day.
Yeah.
Literally. You go
Just waiting.
literally just waiting. So you'll wake up, go to breakfast. You got
Yeah, because you guys spend the night at the hotel.
Yeah, so Friday night we go
Even
to
on
the
home
hotel.
games. Yeah.
Yeah. So we go to the hotel Friday night. If we have a night game next day, we'll probably go see a movie that Friday night, get to the hotel, and then in the morning you'll wake up, you'll have a time frame you can go to breakfast between like 8 or 10 or whatever, depending on what time the kickoff is. Then you'll have a little cool down time, maybe like an hour or two. Then you'll come back for meetings, more meetings. Then you'll have a little bit of cool down time. Then you'll go to lunch, and then after lunch we'll do a walkthrough. And then once the walkthrough over, we'll head to the stadium. And then by the time you get to the stadium, once you get to the stadium, that's when things feel like they speed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get to the stadium, get taped, do Bevo walk, things like that.
How does that feel coming like DKR? They announce you guys coming out. How's that feel with 100,000+ people
So,
yelling at you?
My first time ever seeing that, like I'm from Florida, I tell people all the time, Florida high school and Texas high school, completely
Different ball
different.
game.
I mean, I
Right.
feel like the competition is neck and neck.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to the fans and the amount of work they put in Texas football, it's crazy. I seen the state championship for Texas, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it's
They don't
crazy.
play.
So but the most people I've ever played in Florida is probably like 7,000.
Yeah.
No lie. But the most when I got here, my spring game, my freshman year, that was the most people I ever played in front
Yeah,
of.
first
It was
spring
like,
game.
whoa at first. And then as time went on, it was like, okay,
You get
Yeah.
used to it.
yeah.
It's like anything else.
Yeah, it's literally. Now it's like, okay, I want to see all these fans when
Yeah.
I play.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So like we talked about your game day routine. Like walk us through a week. So you play Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys usually have Sunday off?
So Saturday, no. I mean, we'll have it off, but
Yeah.
it's not off. You got to come in
Do
and
something.
do something.
Yeah.
Treatment, whatever.
And then how does your Monday till Saturday look like?
So Monday will be like a correction / walkthrough / practice day. All of them. Tuesday, Wednesday are the toughest practices. I mean, they're hard nosed, like literally super hard nosed. Thursday is like it's a shorter practice, but it's still like a good practice. I mean, we're not in full pads. And then Friday's a walkthrough. Saturday, do it all over.
So like Tuesday, y'all are popping pads.
Tuesday, Wednesday are like practices, like super. We're going at it.
Like we're playing
Competition.
football.
We're playing real football, like
Dang.
a game.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's incredible to me.
What stuff do you do to like, because running backs, you guys get hit. I'm sure you feel like you got hit by a freight train the next day. Like what stuff do you like to do day after a game? You're beat up, feeling sore, all that kind of stuff. Like how do you get your body ready to roll for the upcoming week days?
Yeah, so Coach Joyce taught me this. It's hot, cold.
Low contrast?
Yeah, contrast.
Yeah.
I'm contrasting for about 20 minutes in total. I'm gonna do that. Normatec boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have those at my house, so I'll go to sleep in those. I still do to this day.
He told me the other day he
literally
came in
go-
the train. We had a big leg day.
Yeah, I went
he
to
said I
sleep
fell asleep in my boots last night.
Those are like the best
Yeah.
things ever created.
They
Like,
are.
They're
Literally.
nice, dude.
It is. So those.
They're so relaxing too.
Yeah, hey Normatec, get this guy an NIL.
Yeah, come on. Hey, shout out Normatec.
Those and then cryotherapy.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that Then like the chamber, I'd rather do that than the cold tub.
Yeah.
That cold tub is like
Oh man, I'm with you.
You guys got a cool
I
thing.
hate it.
What do you guys do like when your cold tub situation? It's like a lazy river.
Yeah.
Like,
So before you
take
get
it through
in
that.
before you get in the cold or hot tub, we call it the car wash.
Yeah.
You gotta go through it to get all the dirt and stuff.
Have you
like
seen
that.
this?
So it
I
don't
haven't
clog.
Like shower nozzles.
Yeah.
It's like a car wash.
It's literally
and
like
they
a
walk
car wash.
through a cold tub.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You walk through. You get sprayed with water before you get in the cold and hot tub, so you get all the dirt and stuff.
So it's for real. It's like a
Literally
process.
a car wash.
Yeah, he's supposed to get it. Yeah, some of them don't, but he's supposed to.
Right.
Yeah, so you don't clog up the drains and the.
Oh, that makes sense. Right. I'm sure all that stuff's very expensive. They don't want you
Yeah.
bringing half of the practice field in there
Exactly.
with
Yeah,
you.
that's
That
exactly
makes
why I
sense.
do it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The Coach 'em Up podcast is sponsored by Squat Wedgies. Tim, what are Squat Wedgies?
Squat wedgies are an adjustable squat wedge, 7, 13, and 20 degrees.
It's big enough to elevate your whole foot and not just your heel.
Because it's rubber, it doesn't slide on surfaces.
It's 22 pounds, so it's durable and stable enough for even your biggest athletes.
There's a 90-day risk-free trial. The shipping is free, and
Get 15% off Squat Wedgies with our discount code CoachEmUp15.
Coach 'em Up 15 for 15% off of the best squat wedge on the planet. I'm interested to know, what about your nutrition has changed since you've gotten to Texas?
So in high school, I ate whatever I wanted to eat.
Yep.
Drunk whatever I wanted to drink.
Yep.
Now I don't eat fast food. I stopped that.
Pause. What's your favorite fast food place?
Well, I mean, I haven't eaten in so long.
Say it again. What are you not eating?
So I don't eat like McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell,
There we go.
Popeye.
Right.
There we go.
I don't eat none of that. Like,
When did you realize you couldn't do that?
so I started it literally right before I got to Texas.
Nice.
I started it right before I got to Texas. So it's been like over a year now.
Dang.
Sodas, I stopped drinking sodas like my senior year of high school.
Yeah.
I stopped that. Yeah, but I feel like if I drink a soda or eat that stuff, I feel like my body go break down.
Yeah.
Especially a soda. I feel like if I drink a soda, I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
It'll
what's
put
in
you
it.
down.
Yeah.
It'll put you
crazy.
down. I still love a Sprite from time to
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
It's crazy though. Like when I know we were all young, like you eat fast food and sodas and whatever, and you don't realize like how that makes you feel. You're just like, I just normally feel really
Yeah,
good
like you see a
after
lot
I
of
eat and stuff.
players now be like, they eat McDonald's. I can't do it.
I'd be sick,
Nothing
bro.
irks me more than when I see we got practice in an hour and a Chick-fil-A bag comes in. And then I'm like, you're about to have a bad practice.
Y'all gonna rip me for this.
All right, here we go.
I don't count Chick-fil-A as fast food.
What are you getting then?
I just don't count it as fast food.
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like
what I hear all the time.
I feel like it's a higher.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's a higher.
If you're gonna do one, I guess that's all right.
it's got to be. It's,
Okay,
it's the upper echelon of fast food restaurants.
Chick-fil-A. I'll
Yeah.
eat Chick-fil-A. But when it comes to McDonald's, Wendy's, Popeye, Taco Bell,
Yeah.
those
Right.
places, I'm
Yeah.
not eating them. Like
Like if you got to do fast food, you're gonna be smart with it.
Yeah.
You're not just throwing.
no, if I eat fast food, it's only going to be Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Nothing else. Like
Yeah.
literally only Chick-fil-A.
What are
And we
you?
kind of every college athlete eats Chick-fil-A.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
After a game, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a spot, man.
True.
Yeah,
you guys got one right on
Right
the
there.
campus.
yeah, we got like 3 or 4
Yeah.
on campus.
I know you know where they're all at.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A.
What's your order? What's your go-to order?
So I'm gonna
Chick-fil-A
get a
order.
spicy chicken sandwich.
Okay.
Add either Kobe Jack or American cheese, with a fry and Polynesian sauce. Chick-fil-A sauce is disgusting.
Spoken like a Chick-fil-A vet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lemonade, no lemonade. What you
Fruit
got?
punch lemonade mix.
Whoa.
Gotta mix it.
It's like the Miami Vice of
Y'all,
Chick-fil-A.
that sounds like the C4 meal.
Yeah.
Some more Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Come on now. Shout out Chick-fil-A.
I got the ad right now. You're in a Normatec boots eating Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Get Call of Duty going.
Exactly. Yeah. What are your favorite ways to wind down? Like when you're not watching film,
Yeah.
recovering, all that kind of stuff. Like, what do you like to do to chill?
So Call of Duty, I mean, we play that like crazy. I mean, yesterday I played for
Are you mostly gaming with your teammates and stuff?
yeah,
So
teammates, some homeboys from back home, and then my little brother plays. My little brother's 10 years old. He better than me.
Oh, yeah.
cold,
He's so
isn't he?
good.
Like a level 6.
He ain't got a job like you. So.
Yeah, he a level
Right.
600 and stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Dangerous. Is he trash talking?
Yeah. The other day I had to break him down.
Yeah.
He was talking crazy to me.
Hey, well, hold on. Time out.
Yeah.
Time out. So your little brother's talking crazy to you.
To me.
Was he getting your ass though?
But we weren't playing against each
Okay,
other.
okay.
We were playing with each other, but
Yeah.
he had more kills.
I see.
So he
Okay.
would talk. I'm like, hold on now.
Yeah.
Like, wait till
So
Thanksgiving.
how do you check him? You check him right there on the spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I made him mad. He left the party. He doing bad. He called my mom. My mom called me like, why you
Why you been beating your little brother?
on the game?
Respect your elders, man.
But yeah.
You had to tell her he was getting a little too crazy on there.
Yeah. We play Call of Duty like crazy. I'm gonna start streaming it. Like I want to start streaming.
Yeah, you should.
mean, it's fun. We have a good time on the game. The conversations we have on the game, stuff like that. I mean, we
Probably
have,
do your own podcast.
I was
playing
just
Call
about
of
to say
Duty,
that, man.
yeah, it'd be lit. I mean, I'll do something where
C4 Pod.
Yeah.
yeah, and then I'd be like, we have these people on. We're playing with these people today, like stuff like that.
Right.
So Call of Duty. I mean, we played that like yesterday. I played for like 4 hours.
Who's the best player on the team?
Ooh. That I played with is probably JB, Jonathan
Okay.
Brooks.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably the best. Whit good too. Jay Whit good.
Yeah.
Jay Whit don't even play as much and he's still good.
He's just got a knack, God given.
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
God given talent. God given.
Nah, this gonna sound biased for real. The best person for real is my sister.
Wow.
Really?
Like, my sister plays the game like crazy.
Yeah.
Like she was on the game when I left the house just now.
That's funny.
She got a monitor.
Oh, she's
whole
gaming.
nerd setup.
Okay, yeah.
She
She's
don't-
playing on the computer. She's not.
She don't play. Well, she played on the with.
Okay.
But she plays on the. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she don't play on the TV. She play on the monitor. Like
That's
she
game
for real,
ready.
like-
She's locked in.
yeah, like me, I play my game on my
Yeah.
TV.
I've
I'm about to
al-
get a monitor, but
yeah.
she be locked in.
I've always sucked at video games and just sucked growing up, just being bad at them. But I had a couple friends who's still into them, and they got the whole Holy Grail setups.
But
and
video
everything.
games are huge.
It's
now.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like the amount of money people make from
You can
playing
make a lot of money
Yeah.
if you're good.
That's
bro.
what I couldn't
Yeah.
believe.
And even if you're not good, like if you
You
just
get
got
views.
yes,
You get
Yeah.
views.
yeah. T-Pain, you seen that? T-Pain said he's making $50,000-$60,000 a month.
The
Just-
rapper T Grizzly, he got this thing going on GTA.
bro, he's just like robbing people and stuff. And GTA,
like,
T
yeah,
Grizzly,
it's
he's
crazy.
funny with it too.
Dude, it's I have a friend. She's a real estate agent in Austin. She like leases out these penthouses and high rises. And I was like, who are the people that buy the penthouses? Is like old oil money people. She's like, no, it's streamers, like Twitch people and whatnot. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, there's a 17-year-old that has the penthouse in one of the
Yeah, I
highest
believe it.
buildings. I'm like, man,
I just seen someone with a 50 on who won like $1 million playing Fortnite.
Man,
I didn't know people still played that.
I never got. I missed the Fortnite.
Fortnite was fun when it first came out.
Yeah, it was a wave.
took over the world.
It
was,
did, bro.
It was kind of bad. Like we would skip school or not want to go to school to play Fortnite. Like, that's how
my
bad it
God.
was. Like
You know what mine was? The one I was just like, I couldn't put the sticks down. NCAA. NCAA. I
I'm glad
would
they
play
keep
that, bro. I'd play that dynasty mode for 60 years. They'd be like, you're done.
Yeah.
You would get to the end. I'd be like,
Yeah.
fuck.
nah, that-
What do I just
Nah, that's one of the-
start over?
That's one of the best games like created. Just
Yeah.
the amount of stuff
Coming
you can
back,
do in it.
bro.
The Road to Glory.
Yes.
The Dynasty modes.
When was
Yeah.
the last one to stop? Because they stopped
14,
it.
bro.
Whoa.
14.
So it's been a decade.
Almost a decade.
But it's coming
Or it has
back.
been a decade.
It's crazy.
Bro, you know, it was one of the weirdest things. I went and visited Bijan in Georgia, and I'm like, let's play Madden. We were just like bored at the house, and I was like, I was like, you
play-
play online a lot, huh? He's like, yeah, I play all the time. I'm like, be honest with me.
Do you use your
Do you play do you play using yourself? And he was like, nah, like that.
Yeah.
And then like 5-10 minutes went by, and he was like, yeah, man. He said something. He was like, yeah, whenever I play, this is like, he talked about the play he runs. I was like, so you do play using yourself? He outed himself. How could you not, bro?
I tell people all
Yeah.
the time, I'm playing with myself.
Got to.
Absolutely.
You got to.
Absolutely.
I say whatever my overall be, I'm being 99.
Yeah. Done.
When I play with me, like that's just like I mean, outside of like me being on the game, that's like a dream come true for real.
It's incredible.
Like
You're in a
just
video game.
like literally on a video game.
It's
Like,
nuts.
and then I used to play that game all the time too. So
Yeah.
I remember playing it at my cousin's house like all the time. So my high school quarterback, he still has it. So when we go to Florida, we're all in town at the same time. We go to his house and play it.
Hang out,
Yeah, we
talk
play
shit
it
and play.
on Xbox 360.
Yes,
That's funny.
that was my console too, man.
That's old
Xbox
school.
360.
I love that. Yeah, I'm excited. I've been playing around in my mind. I'm like, when NCAA comes out, am I gonna, like I want to get it.
Yeah.
But then I can't help but think, I've got a 7-year-old
Yeah,
kid.
I got a
and
job.
Kelly, I just can imagine the look on her face. She let me
Yeah.
do whatever.
That's a tough thing.
But
to
there might be
explain,
consequences.
Yeah. When you're like a grown
You
man.
gotta play.
Yeah, you can do it.
Gotta play.
I got to.
Yeah.
I got to because it's nostalgic for me.
You just gotta
know what
set
I mean?
up a home
In fact, I know
office.
she'd let me because you know what I did, bro? So when I was growing up with Game Boy, it was Pokemon, dude.
Oh yeah.
I played that till my thumbs bled. And I got a console like a year ago, and when we were traveling and stuff, and I played that like on the plane rides and stuff.
Muscle memory.
My daughter was playing. I remembered everything.
That's crazy.
I remember what everything was.
And that's how
Everything.
games work. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I remembered
how
all
games
of it.
work.
Yeah, the Game Boy.
You know, we were talking about streaming and stuff. Outside of football, you talk about football all the time.
Yeah.
First of all, you ever get tired of talking about football?
It depends on where we're at.
Yeah.
Like if I'm at a family function, trying to be with family and stuff,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk
You
about
ain't trying to hear that
I'm fine with talking
Yeah.
about it. Don't get me
Right.
wrong. But
Kind of like the low level football conversation where they're like asking you the same questions you get from everybody.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that or now sometimes like the barbershop, we can talk about football all day.
Right.
Like when I go home to Florida, like I'm going Saturday, I'm going to the barbershop. I'm not even gonna get a haircut. I'm gonna get a haircut before I go there, but I'm still going to the barbershop.
You go
Yeah.
kick it,
Just that-
talk shit and stuff.
Barbershop talks are the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I gotta
literally
fill you
the
in while
best.
you've been gone.
You talk about football, basketball, maybe talking about hockey. I don't know nothing about
Yeah.
hockey, baseball, the local stuff going around the schools around the area. Like barbershop talks are the best.
You watched the NBA? You've been watching the playoffs? Mm-hmm. Bro, Anthony Edwards.
Yo.
I couldn't even get it out.
Cold blooded.
Oh
How
my God.
fun
I'm
would
buying
that
a
be?
jersey.
If you were a basketball player,
He's 22 years old.
it'd be so fun to be Anthony Edwards.
Are you kidding?
Like just dunking on people and then
He's
hitting
a
shots.
dog.
in
He's
faces.
he's literally.
Yes.
People in sports always say that they're a dog, but he's
Yeah.
No, he
Yes.
is for real.
Yes.
We were talking about it the other day. I was like, he played football.
Yes.
You know what I mean? His attitude.
I just seen his highlights pop up on.
You did?
Yeah, they-
Oh man, I'm gonna go watch it as soon as we're done here. I wish I could just pull it up right here. I probably could. I just don't want to mess it
His,
up.
yeah,
Hold
he a dog for real.
Yeah,
He-
there's how angry he plays, and then he has so much fun. He just dunks on somebody's head and goes down the court laughing and
Crazy.
and go.
And he has a killer instinct.
Yes, he's a gamer, man.
Nah, 22 years old. He gonna win the MVP within the next 2 years. Like
Yeah,
he gonna win the MVP. And I'm not really like a basketball junkie. I'm more of a LeBron junkie.
yeah,
But he definitely gonna win the MVP.
yeah, dude, it's nuts. And at that age, like it'd be so fun.
Nah, I watch him though. But I'm a LeBron fan. Like
Nice, I like you.
LeBron.
People that hate on LeBron, I'm like, how do you
40.
hate on LeBron,
How can you?
dude? Like,
He's literally he's the definition of someone living up to the hype.
yes. Can you imagine being under the microscope from 14 to what's he? 40 or whatever,
Might be 40.
and never getting in trouble or anything crazy like his whole time.
Bro, I got arrested my first time at. Oh man. All right, so hopefully this will show us some football highlights here in a minute. But yeah, I was never I didn't get responsible till my mid 20s. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have the money or nothing or the fame or nothing. Bro, look at him in high school though.
Well, it's funny. You got guys like
Jeez.
us guarding him.
Oh,
Later, dude.
oh. Stop. Yeah.
It's like you and me on the 8-foot goal.
That's right.
I had
Yeah.
to fast forward for his football.
Yeah, you're right.
You know he played football.
Bigger than everybody. You see him out there? Look at that pick going the other way.
It's like a high schooler.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's probably one of those guys that
Look
could
at
probably pick the sport.
Look, yeah, I guess he may not have played in high school, huh? This looks like middle school.
Yeah, he probably didn't because I mean,
Probably did what you did.
Highly recruited,
Lose basketball,
yeah.
play football, and
He had
I
to-
mean, I
he had
think
to
he
pick.
picked the right one.
He definitely, it worked
Oh,
out. for
so
him.
have you guys seen the thing that's going around on social media about an NFL player playing football and an NBA player? You know
Yeah, I talk about this
Yeah.
all the time.
All right.
NFL playing basketball.
So the thing he's talking about is Austin Rivers
Yeah.
said that you could take 30 NBA players and put them in the NFL.
You can't do that with.
And then he said, but you can't do that. You can't take 30 NFL players and put them in an NBA.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. All right. Well, first of all, I want to hear your take. What are your thoughts on that?
My opinion is us football players can go play basketball. like, and be somewhat effective. Right, this on defense. Some of the guys on our football team like had Division I scholarships to play basketball. I genuinely don't think that a lot of basketball players can play football. It's dangerous for them. Like,
yeah.
It's
you
like,
gotta think, probably one of the best tight ends ever, Tony Gonzalez, college basketball player.
yeah. But then again, there's football players you could say that about.
Yeah, I think the biggest
basketball.
difference is basketball is such a skill sport.
Yes.
Like football, I would argue basketball you have to be really athletic, but like football, if you are fast and not soft, like, and strong, like you'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
But the skill
Devontae
component.
Smith, I think it was.
Bro, listen, this is T. Higgins. These are highlights of T. Higgins. It's grainy as hell. T. Higgins was a hooper, bro. Yes, that's him dunking it in between the legs, dunking in games. The thing is I think there are probably some NBA guys that could play tight end, right? You know what I mean?
That would be the
Like LeBron,
like
at the height of his powers, if he had gone and just signed with a team, like he could have done it, bro.
Or Ant playing safety.
Ant could play tight end.
Westbrook could play football.
Yeah.
Safety.
Yeah.
I'd stick him right because he's like 6'3".
Yeah, Westbrook can play safety.
And then he's got the attitude too, because that's a
There's definitely like from both sports. There's people that can switch over to the other. Sports.
Yes.
No problem.
Yeah.
Like, easily.
But
I genuinely don't know which one is easier. I'm probably saying football to basketball is easier because I'm being biased.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you're gonna have to change your body style. With me being an athlete, like, I know it's gonna be more than just switching over. Like, it's gonna be it's completely different. Like the training you do it for, it's gonna be completely different. Like if we were to go do a basketball workout or conditioning, and the basketball team come do a football workout and conditioning,
it's different.
It'll be different. Like
I think the biggest thing is you have to think about like position wise. Like I don't think anyone in the NBA could be a running back or like a linebacker, like those type of positions. But I think if you pick like a corner, tight end, like something where it's just like you need to be athletic, I think they could figure it out. But like you're so right. Like I don't know if anyone in the NBA would be like play middle linebacker.
How much of them be willing to get hit?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's my thing is like,
I think it's more of a physical thing.
man,
Yeah.
because like
Not like athleticism.
No, I think it's between the ear thing.
Yeah.
Like you're probably what makes you good is like you're not afraid running anybody over, getting run over. Like I think that's like an attitude that like the best players have. Like they're crazy enough
this
to do
is
that.
Devontae.
It's either Devontae or Henry Rose that was like super good at basketball.
I mean, come on. All of them are doing that, bro. Micah, listen, I got a Micah Parsons story. All right. I'm training here. We had Micah Parsons here last offseason for like 3 weeks. And he was doing NFL offseason training. At the same time, I was training this kid, getting him ready for the NBA Combine. And he's like cold. 6th man of the year, NCAA, played for Gonzaga. Like he's a hooper, for real. And him, and if you know Micah, if you've been around Micah, you know he can talk trash with the best of them.
How tall is Micah Parsons?
Micah's like 6'2", 6'3".
Well,
He's not that tall, bro. He's not that tall, bro. He's like my height.
Okay.
Yeah. He's just, you know how football's, you know, he play.
God knows.
Man, I've never, because like you look at him when you see him in person, he's not like, he don't look like Vernon Davis, you know, or like or like
got the it factor, man.
he just moves better than you. He just does it better, bro.
Yeah.
So anyway, that they get to chirping, and then they really start talking shit. Where it's like, let's bet it's the hoops outside, and you know,
No refs, man.
That's what my guy said. He said the hoops outside, and Micah didn't skip a beat. He said run it. And so we go out there. I'm like, oh, I'm recording this,
like,
and I got all the receipts on my phone, bro. I swear to God, Micah won the first 2 games, bro.
Whoa.
Straight up, beat him. Like he was bullying him, dogging him, taking him to the rack, step back threes and everything. Now the next 2 games they were real close. They played best of 5, and then that 5th game, it was like they were playing a 7, 1s and 2s, and Micah was up 6-5. And then the hooper got the ball back, step back 3 from like 5 feet behind the arc, hit it to win the game. But to put it in perspective, now one-on-one's a different game.
Yeah.
One-on-one's a different game. When you're strong and you're athletic like Micah, you can make up for some of the skill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, if they were playing 5s, full court. I mean, y'all seen Micah at the All-Star game.
Yeah, that's a good point though. That's like if one of us, a football player tries to go guard Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
And it's like if Kyrie Irving try to go guard one of the top receivers.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be the same.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's a great. I'm glad you.
I think athletically wise, though, pretty much anyone that can make it to the NFL or the NBA, I think it's just a matter of what sport they chose. You know what I mean? Like if you're athletic enough to play,
That's a good point
in
too.
the NFL, you're probably athletic enough to play in the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen people's verticals and 40s, and like,
Bro.
you can't tell me that if you just didn't put a basketball in their hand instead of a football, like
I get what
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
I tell people all the
some
time,
tells me if you veered towards
I tell people all the time, whatever sport I trained for, whether it was football, basketball, or baseball, or soccer, I would have figured it out. I would have figured it out.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they always joke.
I think like I can do that.
I believe that.
You know, they always say like, you know, this athlete played all these different sports in high school and that's why they were good at football. It's like, no, that dude's probably just a really, really good athlete. And whatever ball he picked up was probably just the most dominant player out there.
You know what? So all right. I'm glad we're kind of on this topic. So you're around great athletes every day, bro. Mm-hmm. He and I both have trained. We've seen the difference between like a good athlete, someone who's good at their sport, and then like there's that next level. What are the things you've seen or qualities you've identified? Like what is that it factor? What's the thing that takes someone from just being good to being like elite?
Obsession. Literally, I mean, Coach Sark preacher says all the time, that's like our word of the year already. I mean, if you're not obsessed with like perfecting your craft or just the game in general, then
find a different school.
It ain't not even school.
Yeah,
just
not for you.
You ain't
sport.
Yeah,
right.
Because I mean, with football, you can't. I feel like now some people can get away with it because God just gave them all the talent in the world. You know what I mean? Some people can literally get away with it, but in order to be where you want to be, you have to be obsessed because our sport is dangerous. I mean, there's so much detail that go into our sport, and I learned that when I got to college. I mean, like if they say run the 5-yard route, it got to be 5 yards. Because if you make it 5.5, it can be a pick, or you can, you know what I mean? Like,
it's 5 for a reason.
Yeah,
so stuff like that. But obsession is like the biggest thing. Like when I say obsession, I mean like working out when you don't have to, or like this is our off season basically. Yeah, still working. I haven't taken a break since the Friday after the spring, and like that Monday I was in here. Well, we had a week, and then that Monday
he was trying to come in on Sunday. I was like, bro, you just need to rest.
Yeah, eats, drinks, and sleeps and stuff.
But I mean, you have to take a break. I'm not saying don't take a break. Like when I get to Florida, like those first 3 days, I'm gonna take a break. Like
I'm be in the barbershop.
Kick back, spend some time with my family. I'm gonna take my brothers to Disney. Like you got to take a break, but then you gotta find a way to navigate and layer everything.
Your foot's never entirely off the pedal.
Yeah, remember I was telling you the other day, I feel like if I just sit in the house, or if I don't do nothing for 3-4 days at a time, I feel like I've been lost myself.
Yeah.
I feel like I lose myself for real.
That's a good sign. And then I think as like your career goes longer and longer, I think, you know, that day when you're wake up and you realize like you're not obsessed with it anymore, then hang it up.
You're done with it. I mean,
yeah.
And then another thing, like, as your time goes on with a session comes like, okay, it's going to get to a certain point where you get older and older. Now your obsession may not be like, it may be something different, like being super detailed. Because I mean, nowadays, a lot of people that's in the NFL and even college football, the older guys, they may not be super more athletic than someone.
Right. You have to find different ways.
They're a student of the game, and they know so much. They know when to be in the right place at the right time and stuff like that. So that's their obsession, watching film or stuff like that. So everybody, but yeah, obsession is like.
You know who that reminds me of? You saying that? Kobe in his career. Because in the beginning.
Man, I love Kobe.
Yeah.
In the beginning, now he was always a student of the game and everything, but like it's documented how it transitioned for him where it was just about, you know, getting the shots up and being physically imposing and, you know, just being a dog in that way, to having to shift to being the craftiest guy and knowing exactly where to be and where everyone else is going to be, because he wasn't able to rely on the athleticism like he once could.
So Coach Sark sends us, he sent some of us stuff on Twitter with just Kobe talking. And Kobe, if you watch Kobe, he uses 2 words a lot. exhaustion and obsession like a ton. Like when you watch his interviews, he say like those are like the top 2 things. Like he goes by like exhaustion. When he's practicing, he want to reach exhaustion. That's why I said that earlier.
Yeah.
It's 3 people I know that love Kobe. My dad, Coach Sark, and Coach Choice. Like they love Kobe. When I first got to Texas, I read a book on Kobe that Coach Choice gave me.
Mentality, or what's it called?
I think it's that one. I read that book. And then Coach Sark loved Kobe. I mean, a lot of the quotes he used with us or he'll show us is Kobe Bryant. And my dad, like, the biggest Kobe fan. He, like, the only true Lakers fan I know.
Really?
Like, I'm a Lakers fan, but I'm only a Lakers fan because
your dad.
Yeah. No, because LeBron is.
Oh,
like, if LeBron go to the.
You're throwing your purple and gold.
Yeah, Suns.
Yeah. Like, wherever LeBron,
I'm with you.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
LeBron had me wearing a Cleveland jersey, for God's sake.
Kobe Bryant's like what you want in that. In order to be great.
Yeah, well, he's about it. Like, if people talk, like, every player's like, I want to be the best in the nation, or yada, yada, yada. And then most people, like, everyone loves Kobe.
Right.
And then it's like, there's no Kobe Bryant story where it's like, yeah, he showed up 5 minutes before practice. He left right after. He went to the club.
Did you ever see the story they told when they were playing for Team USA about Kobe?
Yes.
He was playing against Paul Gasol, I think it was.
Let our viewers know who have.
Yeah, tell it.
I remember. I don't know if I'm telling it 100% correct, but they were playing against Paul Gasol, which is basically one of his.
Yeah, for Spain.
For Spain, which is one of Kobe's like best teammates he's ever had. They're like brothers.
Yeah.
I do remember they were coming off the jump ball, and Kobe was telling them like they're going to run this play for Paul Gasol. He's going to set a screen. Kobe said, "I'm not going to run around the screen. I'm gonna literally run right through his chest."
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. What How you running through his? That's your team.
Said,
like y'all win championships together.
Yeah. Not this tournament.
His exact words were, "I'm gonna run through that motherfucker's chest."
Yeah.
And the message like, okay, yeah, we're brothers, but we playing for something.
Yeah.
Yep.
That just lets you know, because I mean, Team USA is like, I mean, yeah, you're playing for the gold medal, but it's like a fun thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Kobe took it as like, nah, we playing for
winning's fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, winning's
when he
fun.
did, I'm like, whoa, because LeBron was in shock, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, all those guys on the team were in shock, but they're great too.
Yep.
But that just lets you know, like, Kobe mentality is
different. It was different for real.
I don't think nobody has a Kobe mentality.
No, different. Him
Yeah.
and Jordan, it's like when you watch
got a
like
killer-
The Last Dance,
killer instinct.
like the way he talks about the game and his approach, like the hair on your arms.
I was very biased of Jordan because I didn't get to witness Jordan.
Yeah.
I was born in 2005.
Yeah. Young gun.
I didn't get to witness Jordan's, but The Last Dance, like, it made me like, okay, this is why everybody say he's great as he is.
Yeah.
He was, because he'll go to the extreme to be.
I think it's tough for people to relate to somebody like that because although all his teammates are also accomplished, like he's another level. So it's like if you're not willing to go to that guy's level, then he does seem crazy.
His documentary, that Last Dance documentary, is probably like the best sports documentary ever made. I can't wait till they make LeBron's.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Because he's been since he was in high school, middle school.
14.
Yes.
So it's like.
And the cool thing about LeBron is like, all his shit's recorded, bro.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Michael's story, high school, college, like
That's
you got to see the games.
Yeah.
But like the person outside of that stuff, we didn't get to see that stuff.
Like I was saying earlier, he's like the one athlete who's truly lived up to the hype.
Crazy. Well, I remember watching his first high school game when he was like 14 or 15 versus Carmelo Anthony. And it was on ESPN.
Man.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. That is sick. That's nuts.
Now that guy, I think the difference between Jordan made his teammates better. I think Jordan made his teammates better more by them being scared of him.
Yeah, hell yeah. He
led through fear.
I was just about to say that because there's a huge difference between fear and respect.
Yeah.
They can both be very effective.
I think they low-key feared Jordan.
Yeah, they did, bro.
People in the league fear Jordan.
Yeah.
Yes.
LeBron is a playmaker.
Yeah.
So he's going to, everybody's around him is going to be better, like, because he's on the team.
Yeah.
That mean he's like a quarterback in a sense.
Totally.
Like,
Yes, for sure.
So I think that was the difference. Kobe's just Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe go.
Bro, you know what? I want to ask this before we run out of time. We were talking about streaming and stuff like that and things that you're interested in outside of football. Like, what are apart from football, what are your dreams and goals outside of football?
Yeah, so I mean, I have a lot. The good thing about me playing the sport of football and where I want to get to, it's going to open up other doors for me once I'm done. Sports analyzm, I want to do that. I want to be a sports analyst. But then outside of anything with sports, enough with sports. I want to be a fashion model, like with clothes and stuff. I love clothes.
You in like high end fashion or shoes, so like, or what are you? I'm kind of a sneakerhead.
Shoes, whatever. I love shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, I got so many shoes.
You're my guy. I like you.
Shoes, clothes. I want to get into stuff like that. UT supposed to be having something with like a fashion walkthrough thing. I'm gonna probably join it. That, and then I want to build a school in my hometown.
Sweet.
Where I'm originally, like where I was born at. So in Boynton Beach, I want to build a school for like low income. You know what I mean?
Boynton's rough, man.
That's like making a lasting mark though that like lives beyond you.
Yeah.
I think like anything like that, like how cool would that be? Like see like younger versions of you.
Literally, like
yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Like walk the walk, talk that like you've been in their shoes, you know how it is. Things like that.
I mean, where I'm from, it's not. I mean, we got like maybe a handful of people I can name that's like got somewhere or where they are now. You got me, I'm blessed to be there. Travis Hunter, you guys all know. Vince Wilfork is from down there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, my dad played with Vince Wilfork.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, my dad played with him. Who else? Lamar Jackson is like, that's where he went to high school. That's where
he went to Boynton Beach.
Boynton High. Yeah. So those
I knew he was from
Florida guys, and then it's more, but those like Florida guys, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I live down there, bro. Like South Florida, Boynton, is like rough. Areas of Delray. Boca's super nice.
Yeah, Boca's nice,
but like
Pompano,
Deerfield, Pompano, all that, bro. It's
Belglade.
I mean, it's people go vacation there, and like the beaches are nice and stuff.
Yeah, the beach is nice,
but bro,
it's rough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not telling you.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you. I haven't been down there in so long. I don't go.
Yeah.
Not because I feel like I'm better than nobody. No, it's never that. It's just
busy working on your deal. Right
that and the environment it is. I don't.
You don't need to be there. Yeah. You don't need to be there.
Even when I do go with my mom, my dad, and we be in and out.
Bro, I remember I was living in Deerfield, and because this is a time in my life, like I was just getting sober, like I was living in a halfway house, and those places are never in a nice. They're just not in a nice area. It just is what it is. They can't afford to be.
Yeah.
And I got to Deerfield, and like I had my foot in a previous lifestyle for a long time. So I knew right when I got there, I was like, oh man, it's real out here, bro.
Real. But it's crazy. Rough. So that's the difference between Deerfield, like that Broward area, and like the Palm Beach County area. I mean, a lot of people come out of Palm Beach County, but Broward, Broward and they produce so many like athletes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, especially football
players,
because that's all they have.
Yes.
Literally, like Jerry Jeudy, Calvin Ridley, Antonio Brown. Those receivers and stuff. Like we was talking about NCAA earlier, the quarterback that was on the cover of NCAA, Shoelace, he's from Deerfield. So it's like the amount of guys that they produce from down there is
I didn't know he was from down there, bro.
Say Flowers, so many guys.
How would you explain South Florida to somebody who's never been there?
So I tell people all the time, the state of Florida is weird.
Yeah.
It's like its own country, bro.
It's weird when it comes to like how you layer it out. So South Florida is from like Palm Beach County all the way down to like to Dade, which is like it's weird.
Because like Dade's its own place too.
People don't count Tallahassee as Florida.
Yeah.
Like the northern part of Florida, they don't count
It's still Georgia, ain't it?
They count it as
no man's
whatever.
Land.
Yeah.
But Broward, Dade, Palm Beach County, Duval, Orange County, like Central Florida, like from Central Florida all the way down south. So basically from like Orlando all the way down to Key West, that's like Florida.
Yeah.
So from the middle of Florida on the map all the way down, that's like Florida. The rest of that stuff is like whatever. Like I tell you all the time, like it gets to a certain part in Florida, you're an hour behind or an hour ahead in time.
Yeah, different time zone. Yeah.
But you're still in Florida.
Yeah.
That's not Florida.
No. If you're in a different time zone, it's not Florida.
We had a game, it's called a Panhandle.
Yeah.
We had a game up there and we were still in school. Like we had like tests and stuff, but they were online because it was during COVID. So we had to do we had work. So we were doing all our work online and we all looking at the computer like, wait, we late for school.
Yeah.
Or we too early. One or the other.
Right.
Like, whoa. But
I'd hate to be too early.
They're like, nah, we're an hour behind or ahead. I'm like,
what?
he's not in Florida. There's no way. And that area is
Dicey.
dicey.
It's crazy because like you got like I feel like central northern Florida. It's like country,
Yeah, North Florida is real country.
super country, and then like you know you got the Everglades, which is like its own world, and then that whole coastline down south, and then like Miami. I don't even consider Miami Florida, to be honest with you, bro. Like Miami's just Miami.
Miami's its own world too.
Yep.
Everybody want to visit Miami.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bro, listen, after 2-3 days there, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah,
bro.
Miami-
Can't afford it.
No,
Miami-
I can't afford it. Nobody can, bro.
what everybody makes it out to be. I probably say that because I'm from Florida.
Yeah.
Right.
But to me, it's not where
I'm
everybody makes it
good.
out to be.
Yeah,
I mean, it's fun for 2-3 days.
right.
I can't afford
Yes.
the $30 hamburgers and traffic. And
Miami's
It's beautiful.
fun. Coral Gables.
Yeah.
That's where you at. It's kind of Coral Gables is almost like a living in it's not like a LA. It's like a Calabasas or something. It's like a high end,
Elevated.
Yeah, like you gotta be
Oh, you
super
know where
rich
else
to
is
live
crazy
there.
down there? Hali.
For yeah. All that stuff is all in like by Miami. That's why.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Dang, that went by fast, man.
Yeah.
That's great. We got like 5
let's
minutes.
do a little rant and rave.
Yeah, let's do it. You want to do rant?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
let's say just about college football in general.
Yeah.
What's a rant that you have about it, like something that you're not real high on, I guess?
Oh, the 1 foot thing. How you only need 1 foot to stay in bounds? That's like the weirdest rule I've ever seen in football in general.
Because what, NFL's 2 feet?
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
in high school it's 2.
What? And college is just 1?
I think college is like, I may be wrong, but I think college is like the only level.
Yeah.
That has
Like-
1 foot.
Yeah, and then maybe like our schedules are super. Football. I tell you, once you get to college football, it's year round.
Yeah, it's not.
It's literally year
Yeah,
round.
if you're playing, especially coaching, whatever.
coaches
bro.
get
Oh my
no break.
God, bro.
Yeah.
I could never.
Like Coach Choice, he called me remember I said he called me the other morning. He said he was on the road recruiting.
Got to get guys.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast they bring in the next guy.
Yeah. Got to find another CJ.
Yeah,
Got to. Good luck.
So what's something you really love about college football?
man. Out like besides the play, the fans are amazing.
Yeah.
The atmosphere of the games are amazing. The brotherhood of college football is like unique, and I say that because in high school, the guys that you play with, y'all all grew with each other because y'all are from the same area. So you're going to the high school that's in the area. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
Like you're not finna bring a
Same
guy-
background, same thing.
Yeah,
We've known them
so it's a
forever,
little
yeah.
different. So we know with college, it's like people literally from everywhere. Like, I mean, I know for us in state, I go to Texas, so most of the guys are from Texas.
Yeah.
But even then, like me coming from Florida, we got people from Cali, people from Louisiana.
I was about to say Louisiana is crazy, bro.
Yeah, stuff like that, just to see how different everyone is, and then for all of us to come together and have the same goal, and then meet that goal, it's crazy to see. Even like the coaches be from all over.
Oh,
the
yeah.
place.
Right.
So it's different, like, because when you get to college, it's like 80 coaches. It's literally coaches everywhere and staff. And then in high school, you got like 10 coaches.
Yeah, I think that's the coolest part about like sports in general at this level is like the melting pot of people from every different background
Coming together.
They
got one goal.
What other situation would like you hang out with some rich guy from Minnesota or some poor person from Montana or like
Right.
whatever?
Yeah.
You guys all have this common goal and love of
You got one
football.
kid from Scottsdale. You got another kid from Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
roommate's best friend.
Right.
Like, no
Completely
other
different.
situation does that ever happen. Like that's
Literally.
that's so cool.
And I think with football, it's crazier too because there's so many of us.
Yes.
I mean, with basketball, you got like what?
Yeah,
How
you guys are an army though.
many guys would you say in
15.
basketball? 15. So
Yeah.
like with football, like I said, it's 120, 150 of us. Plus the coaches.
Yeah.
So it's a whole bunch of us.
Bro, you
but
could
we all
go.
in
You
the
could
same-
probably go.
They take school buses to practice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
But how else? That makes sense.
Yeah.
I bet you could go 2 years and just like be like, yeah, I mean, I know he's on the team, but I don't even know. You know what I mean? Not really know somebody.
So
Dude.
this year I'm trying to learn everybody in the
Yeah.
building name.
Nice.
I didn't know that last year.
Gonna
Yeah.
be the face of the program, man.
I know it.
That
I want to learn everybody in the building name. Like if I see them, I'm like, you know how LeBron,
Yeah.
see everybody, he got a handshake with everybody.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna do that.
not yet.
I'm trying to know everybody.
I'm not creative enough to have all
Yeah.
those different
No, it's
handshakes.
respect.
Because if you're the one that's like, hey, we got to get a handshake, you better be bringing something to the table.
He the one that he remembers all of them.
That's crazy.
He got handshakes with the camera people and the water boys. I'm like,
how lit is that? Can you imagine me and the water boy and be like, oh, this is me and LeBron?
Yeah, me and LeBron. Hey.
All right. So what are 3 things that if there's a kid from Orlando, a kid from Boynton, and he wants to be where you're at right now?
Yeah.
What are the 3 big things that young man needs to do to get to where you're at?
I mean, we talked about it earlier with obsession. I mean, if you're not obsessed with what you want to do in life, then you're probably not going to reach it. Your work ethic is another one, and then sacrifice. Like you gotta. When I say sacrifice, I'm not meaning like. When I say sacrifice, I'm meaning like, okay, your friends may go out one night, but you can't go out, or you may not want to work out, but you just got to. I mean, I'll be lying to you, or any athlete will be lying to you if they say, oh, I want to just go work out every single day. I want to get up every day and go work out. Or practice don't get tiring. Or you got to find a way, like, regardless. Like, it's been plenty of mornings, and I'm going to have plenty of more mornings or days where I get out of bed, I'm like, bro, I do not want to do this today. But I'm going to find a way to go do it.
What do you tell yourself? Like, that morning, alarm goes off, CJ, you're like, oh,
yeah,
not this. Like, what do you do to get yourself fired up to go?
Man, it's always like a voice in the back of my head, like, you almost there. Like, when I say I'm almost there, when this draft just came on, I got to see all my teammates get drafted. I don't know what it did to me, but me seeing that was like,
made it real.
It'd be me.
Yeah, it was like, well, I went to Jonathan's draft party. And I mean, we were in the same room. I seen the stuff he did to get to where he at. I know the stuff he went through last year and the stuff he's been through. But for him to get his name called, like actually like I was literally, he was right there and I was like right there at the door. Like I was that close to him. Like he got his name called. Well, they called his phone and to see like them on the screen draft him. And then it was like, I swear I called my dad right after. I said, I'm going to the NFL. Like, I'm getting drafted. Like, there's no way I don't, because the amount of excitement it puts on your face and then, like, your family face is crazy.
Yeah.
Literally, like, the craziest thing I ever seen. Like, for real, like, that's like...
I'm fired up.
I know.
That's like my...
I'm ready to go train.
That's my ultimate, like, goal. Like, I know, like, I text Coach Choice, look, I'm going to show y'all. I said I got to get there. Get me there. He said, it's coming. 2 more years. Let's work. I texted him that at 8:15. I texted him that, like, right after JB got drafted. Because it was like, bro, that excitement.
You need to screenshot that and save that, because when they call, I'm serious, for real. You need to do that, because when they call your name in a couple years, you're going to want to be able to look back at that.
Yeah,
that's one of those, that exchange you had right there. Not just because of the exchange, but for everything that you just said about the emotion and what it meant to you.
I think that was the best part. Like his mom jumped up excited. His brother was crying.
Yeah.
His girlfriend, his family, because JB's from a small town in Texas, and like basically his whole town was there. The amount of excitement it put on like all their faces, like, yeah, like I got to do this.
Obsession, baby. Obsession.
Like I got to.
Unsolicited advice. So look, this can be about anything. It doesn't have to be about sports. It doesn't have to be about nothing. It can be something that's just important to you. If you were walking past somebody on campus, you don't even know them, and you just leaned over and you gave them some advice, what would it be?
Be yourself. I think. Well, I'm a compare it to sports, and then I'm gonna switch over to the real world.
Okay.
With sports, a lot of people like, they don't want to be themselves because they scared of like how people will think about them or stuff like that. And then like in football, for example, like I feel like outside of football, I'm a nice person. Like I'm a chill. But then there's another side of me, like in football. But like I'm never going to change who I am for nobody. Literally nobody. My mom always told me that, be yourself, don't change who you are for nobody. And then outside of that, there's so many trends that happen in the world, like whether it's clothing, just anything, the cars you drive, anything. Like there's so much trending, but you may not even like it, but you may want to do it just because it's what's popping, it's what's popular, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would say be yourself, just because like there's not many people who are like true to themselves, and I think when you try to be something you're not, then that's when you actually like lose yourself.
Totally.
You know what I mean? So I would really just say, I feel like when stuff like that is simple. It's not like a whole bunch of ranting and what it takes to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a good principle to live by. Shout out to your mom.
Yeah, I love my mom.
That's a big time. All right, we got to wrap this thing up, man.
Yeah, that was good.
This was awesome.
Thank you.
Can't thank you enough for being on. This was
Thank you.
We need to do that part 2, man.
Yeah, we will. We'll if you want, we'll have you back.
Yeah, I'm always down
at some point. But thank you, bro.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank y'all for listening and watching.
Thank y'all.
Peace.